Supriya Shrinate, politically is the Congress getting edged out in this growing battle in Gujarat and elsewhere between AAP and the BJP? You've taken the side of the opposition, saying that the government is anti-Aam Aadmi, which is why it's opposing this revadi culture. But you've also been a business journalist in the past. You worried about state and central finances, and therefore in that capacity, is it not highly worrying the level of indebtedness in some of the Indian states? Punjab 53.3%, Rajasthan 39.5%, Bihar 38.6%. This is the debt as a percentage of the state gross domestic product. Kerala 37.0%, Uttar Pradesh 34.9%, West Bengal 34.4%, Jharkhand 33%, and the list goes on. Our states are in acute financial stress.
Rahul, I say this not just in capacity of being a Congress spokesperson, but as a former journalist, and I used to raise this issue even when I was on the high street of finance. The issue is, when it comes about the poor, it is going to be called revadi. It will be called subsidies, it will be called loan waiver. But for the rich, the same subsidies are incentives. For the rich, आप रेवड़ी नहीं अशरफिया बांट रहे हैं. आपने 1,80,000 crore का hit लिया because of corporate tax cut. आपने 6 lakh crore का spectrum 1.5 lakh crore में बेच दिया.
No, but one second, can I just pause you there to say, one second, Supriya, let's take this one by one. Let's assume corporate taxes come down. That is with the idea of encouraging India Inc. to invest more in the India story, which is why corporate taxes are being brought down to global levels so that India becomes competitive globally. There is economic rationale, and each rupee of that investment, whether it's domestic or international, has a high multiplier effect on the rest of the economy. Just one second, Supriya Shrinate. So it's not a revadi, there is a multiplier logic to what is being attempted.
It's been 3 financial years since the time this corporate tax rate was reduced.
True.
Give me just one incidence of the gross fixed capital formation, which is the only indicator of investments by India Inc. rising. It's at an all-time low.
But there were 2 years of the pandemic. What you're saying is correct.
Invest in India.
That's true.
30,000.
No, one second. The reality is that
one second. Let me finish.
No, but you're making a political point. See, I'm trying to ensure that this is an economic conversation with some high thinking and high level of arguments.
The problem, Rahul, is you're not even letting me finish a sentence.
But ma'am, as you say for 3, I don't want you to make political, but you're making political points with rhetorical flourish. I'm trying to bring you on data. 2 of those years were years of the pandemic. In the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of all the lockdowns, you can't really expect India Inc. to start investing very aggressively. It's practically not possible. That is also the reality which followed soon after corporate taxes were brought down. Supriya.
Capacity utilization in Indian industry today is at 70 to 80%. Capacity utilization. The pandemic, for all practical purposes of the economy, is behind us. But what before the pandemic? What was happening before the pandemic? 35% GFCF is down to 27%, and the government doesn't seem to be losing sleep. Please understand, when consumption and investment go down, there will be no job creation. We have broken the virtuous cycle of consumption, investment, jobs, further fueling consumption. Consumption is 80% of our GDP. How are we going to ensure consumption stays when there is acute joblessness, high prices, income going down? I am sorry, I am not rhetorical. I am stating economy 101 very simply. You have broken the virtuous cycle of consumption, investment and jobs. You do not want to incentivize people to consume more. You do not want to put the money in the hands of the poor. They do not have excess income to raise demand. There will obviously be low investment. The needle on investment did not move a single inch with the government's corporate tax cut. But that's not the point. The point here is, India is a welfare state. 83% of our people have lost wages. There are 23 crore people pushed below the poverty line. Are you telling me the government can look any other way? And my problem is, this whole debate is centered around fiscal implications the moment you talk about the poor.